Hi, everybody. Welcome to Maury Courts on this Wednesday, beautiful day outside today, and it's a great day for basketball. I am Scott Govitz, sitting alongside Brent Mischler, and we looking forward to bringing you tonight's exciting game between the Mid-Michigan Community College Lakers and the Grand Rapids Community College Raiders. Brent, these teams coming in here, it is the end of the season, but it's the beginning of a new season just around the corner with playoffs looming for tournament time, and it's always an exciting time to the finish of the season and the start of what becomes a new season.
Yeah, that's right, Scott. You know, it really is a exciting time of the year as these guys are wrapping up their last week of regular season play. Sophomore night to here, also at Maury Courts for the mid team, so I know they're going to come out fired up tonight. The last time these two teams played, it was an overtime game, so we're really looking forward to a tight contest all the way through.
Well, not only was that a tight game, and I think it went into overtime, and the Lakers lost in overtime by 3, if I'm remembering correctly. But there's some exciting individual individual efforts on both of these teams to talk about. We've got some national recognition, if you will, for the Lakers and their players, and maybe the number 5 leading scorer in the nation for Grand Rapids.
Yeah, Grand Rapids features Curtis Davison, who is 5th in the nation in scoring just under 25 points a game. And he's countered locally with mid with Colton Antis, who is the nation's leader in 3-point field goals made per game and also overall field goal threes. So it's going to be an exciting style tonight. I know Grand Rapids likes to get up and down the court. And talking to Coach House before the game, one of his key facts was really limiting their transition and defending that pick and roll that Davison likes to run so often. Offensively for mid, they're going to want to hit their free throws. The last game came down to a free throw shooting contest. Look to get Colton open for some threes and then play off of him.
Well, mid's coming in here with a 15-11 record. And the Grand Rapids squad at 20-8. So it should be a fantastic game here this evening at Maury Courts. And we welcome you, the viewers, along for the ride on MAC TV Network. Stick around. We'll be back just in a moment, and we'll bring you live action from Maury Courts.
Good evening on behalf of Mid-Michigan Community College. Welcome to Maury Courts for tonight's game between the Grand Rapids Community College Raiders and your Mid-Michigan Community College Lakers. So let's meet the starters for tonight's contest. First, introducing the visitors from Grand Rapids. Number 1, Anthony McIntosh. Number 3, Zachary Pangborn. Number 5, Curtis Davison. Number 32, Samuel Ryans. And number 34, Diego Robinson. The Raiders are coached by Luke Blancama. And now taking the floor in the blue and silver for your Mid-Michigan Community College Lakers. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore from East Lansing, number 3, Nate Cologne. Back guard, a 6-foot sophomore from Fulton, number 10, Colton Antis. Back guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Beaverton, number 20, Spencer Johnston. Back forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Ithaca, number 5, Spence DeMole. And at center, a 6'5" sophomore from Crystal, number 12, Grant Gage. The Lakers are coached by Taylor House, assisted by Joel Dyer, Taylor Artis, and Byron Shaw.
Okay, the introductions are complete, Brent, and we're getting about ready to start this contest. It looks to me, looking at the Grand Rapids squad coming in here, averaging 91 points a game, that it's going to be a tough matchup for this Lakers squad.
Yeah, Scott, Grand Rapids is going to look to get up and down the court all night long, find some easy shots in transition. If they're not able to do that, they're going to really look to run a lot of pick and roll tonight.
Well, as Brent mentioned earlier, this Lakers squad is dependent a great deal on the three-point shooting for Colton. And we're underway with Grand Rapids with the tip. And the basketball. They're working from our left to our right here at Maury Courts. And a shot up there, and good.
Number 5.
And you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Davison with that step-back shot. He's averaging close to 20 shot attempts a game, so he's a real volume shooter.
Well, there's 24.7 points a game, as you mentioned earlier, 5th in the nation. As is this guy, the three-point basket. Entes for a three-pointer, Brent, and that's going to be a key for the Lakers if they're going to stick around tonight.
They're going to have to hit some shots, and that's a great way to start as DeMaul picks up a cheap one.
Mid-Michigan foul on number 5.
DeMaul picking up the first foul of the ball game. That'll be his first for the Lakers tonight. We're just underway. We're at Maury Courts here on MAC TV Network, and we're pleased to have you along with us as the Mid-Michigan Community College Lakers are playing host tonight to Grand Rapids. And Grand Rapids' three-point shot up there, and no good by Pangborn, and down with the rebound come the Lakers. Spencer Johnston is the man in charge with the basketball. Spencer amongst the leaders in the nation as well.
Good slip across. Grant just can't complete.
Assists and the all-time assist leader for the Lakers squad. Foul going to be called here, and it's going to be an offensive call, and that's going to go against McIntosh. Offensive ran over Spencer Johnston there.
And that's something that Spencer really excels at is keeping his plane parallel to his offensive guy and taking one in the chest, and Mid takes it back the other way.
Spencer from Beaverton, about 35-40 minutes just to the north of here, as the Lakers are back in action with the ball. A shot up and missed there by Cologne. And Grand Rapids back quickly with the ball. And the shot put up, a nice pass inside there
34, Diego Robinson.
by Pangborn. And Robinson with the bucket. And this Grand Rapids with a 1-point lead here, 4-3 in this early going. 18 minutes remaining here in the first. And the Lakers with the basketball. Top of the key and working inside into the paint. Getting back out of there is DeMaul. Spencer Johnston working the basketball in. And he goes up with it, partially blocked on the play by McIntosh.
Good slap behind by Spence DeMaul.
Back come the Lakers, shot up, three-pointer, in and out.
I think he stepped out of bounds in the corner, Scott, so it's going to go back to Grand Rapids.
Colton with the basketball on that side just stepped out. His three-pointer in and out. He would not have counted at any rate, of course, but it's exciting basketball when he has the ball in his hands. It's usually going to go up if there's a sliver of opening.
That's right, and the defense is going to try to face guard him most of the night, but he's still going to get some shots up.
Spence DeMaul with the basketball goes end-to-end with it, puts it in for two, and the Lakers are on top by 1, 5-4. We've got 17 minutes and change left here in the first. Grand Rapids with the ball, driving inside with it. In and out from Greg Robinson.
You know, Coach House said defensive rebounding is really important as well. The first time these two played, Grand Rapids was able to offensive rebound.
Nothing but net on that three-pointer by Curtis Davison. Curtis putting the Grand Rapids squad up by 2. Lots of time left here in the first. If you're in the area, stop on by, see some action. And a little hook shot there for the Lakers, put in by Gage. Nice little shot there.
Yeah, he was able to get quick position in the post by flashing and able to convert. He does a nice job hedging on those screens. But once again, Davison gets loose for another 3, and I think that's a quick 8 points for him.
Opportunity to come out on there as a 3-point shot put up and down to the floor went Cologne, but no call on the play. Grand Rapids back quickly, and a shot put up there by Pangpor, and he misses, and away come the Lakers. The long 3-point shot by Colton Antes with the nickname of Shooter, Brent. I think you see why.
And his range is pretty much a step over half court, and he will not be afraid to let it fly.
Number 12, Grant Gage.
Foul on the play against Mid-Michigan. Goes against Gage. Going to be his first. But I've seen him make a couple of those shots, Brent, where he literally stepped, as you said, like, I don't know, 15 feet past half court. Lets it go, literally turns around and runs the other way. He has that much confidence.
And when he gets in that zone, you can tell that once it's going up, it's going in.
Well, Davidson in the zone right now for Grand Rapids. He's got the hot hand, knocks down another 2-pointer. And right now it's a 3-point lead for Grand Rapids. They're up 13-10, 15 minutes left here. Shooter with the basketball. And off kilter there a little bit. And back comes Grand Rapids quickly, end to end with it. The missed shot. Rebound by Antes, and the handoff now down underneath. Up and in for Colin Carter. Carter puts that one in, and we've got a 1-point basketball game.
Yeah, Carter's a freshman out of Indiana. His sister Clay played for Mid a couple years ago, and normally a starter, but on sophomore night tonight, all the sophomores are starting, so Colin brings some energy off the bench.
Missed shot there by Grand Rapids and chased down. And up again goes Antes, and it's another long 3. And that puts the Lakers in the lead. And it excites the fans, especially the bench.
And there's a good-sized crowd here tonight. You know, Mid is 7th in the country with attendance, and there's a lot here to support them tonight.
Well, there has been good attendance since the Lakers put a team on the floor. This is, I think, the 6th season of basketball for Mid-Michigan Community College. That time went by very quickly, and look at this one.
And I don't know what to say.
Maybe in that zone you're talking about, Brent.
That's 4 threes for him, and even the players are laughing right now.
How do you defend that, Brent?
I don't know.
And Grand Rapids doesn't know either. They're trying their best, but I'm telling you what, when you're in a zone like that, and he's quite a shooter to begin with.
He's wide open again. He's going to hit this. And that was about from Alma, and it just rimmed out.
It looks like a City League pickup game in some respects, but I'm telling you that Antes is just unbelievable. When he's open, look for it to go up, and that time he just missed it. Spencer Johnston missing it that time. Grand Rapids back quickly with the basketball. A missed shot that time by Davison, one of his seldom misses here in the early going. We've got 12:40 left here in the first. 5-point basketball game. Mid's up 18-13 over the Raiders. Raiders in here with a 20-8 record. So on the slate, the Raiders have an advantage of 5 more wins and scoring a whole lot more points per game. But right now it's the Lakers, and it's the Colton Antes show.
Yeah, he's got 4 threes already, but Monday night's game, he finished with 10 threes, so he's on pace so far.
12:20 left here in the first. The Raiders with the basketball. Nice pass inside there, but just mishandled by Davison. Lakers coming back with it. Spencer Johnston with the ball. He looks for the open man, moving it around. Inside the key, off the glass with that shot for DeMol, and he puts it in.
Yeah, Spence does a nice job at elevating in the middle lane, using his size advantage to shoot over guys as Carter picks up a cheap one, trying to hedge on that pick.
Well, it'll be his first, and I think that's the team's third. Second or third? Third, okay. Get my bearings here straight, look across the court, and I can see now they're posted. Grand Rapids with the ball, driving inside. Up and in for Pangborn. Pangborn out of Grand Rapids, as is most of this Grand Rapids squad. 3 of their starters from Grand Rapids, 1 from Kentwood, and 1 out of Lansing. These teams battling it out in hopes of moving with a win, perhaps to home court advantage in the upcoming NJCAA playoffs.
Yeah, both teams have already clinched playoff spots. They're fighting for seeding tonight, along with several other teams.
This Lakers squad has had a lot of success in its early years of existence. I was talking with Coach earlier, and he mentioned they just don't know. When playoffs occur, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, especially when you have a shooter who gets on fire and everyone else feeds off of him.
3-point shot from the corner, badly missed there. Good hustle by DeMol, and that ball will go out of bounds and belong to the Lakers.
Yeah, I think Ewing for Grand Rapids got a little push in on the back, and ref was right there and got that foul.
10:50 left here in the first. 5-point lead for Mid-Michigan, 20-15. Mid-Michigan with the basketball. Now kick back outside and a 3-point attempt up and around the rim. Shot by DeMol there. Lakers will come back down with the ball. Long pass cross court. That's another miss. Miles misses, and here comes Grand Rapids. Court to court. There is McIntosh with it, and he misses the layup. Mid-Michigan back with the ball. Now working their offense. That pass intended to go inside for Carter. And Grand Rapids comes away with it, and the easy layup as Davison lays it up and in.
And that's a transition game that we were talking about earlier. You know, Grand Rapids turnover on one end leads to a layup on the other.
Well, they waste no time in transition, Brent, that's for sure. Mid with the basketball on the floor, but they regain control, and the shot up by DeMol missed, and back quickly comes Grand Rapids. 9:30 left. Laid up and in by Davison. Grand Rapids, Brent, seems to be getting a lot of inside shots.
Yeah,
here.
and I think Mid's going to talk about this for a second. I think everyone's a little bit winded from the up and down pace.
So we've got a timeout on the floor here by Mid, where
30-second timeout.
they will take a 30-second timeout and talk a little bit about what's happening. Well, in the earlier game, the Lady Lakers, with another victory, they were victorious 59-47 in that final. And the Lady Lakers, Brent, with a pretty impressive record this season.
Yeah, they're having a great year as well. You know, they're now up to 21-3 overall, so they have definite momentum on their side as they get ready for tournament time.
Well, that's a team that is certainly used to the tournament play. They have really created some excitement in Mid-Michigan with their play in tournaments, and a year or two ago, for the last couple of years, going deep into the tournament.
Correct. Yep, they've made some nice long runs and made it to the national tournament 2 or 3 years ago, I believe.
Well, Coach Rodenbow doing a great job with that squad, and congratulations to him and his team for the victory tonight and a terrific season so far. Behind the back pass there, intended to find the open Weston Miles.
Yeah, Hearns made a nice play on his guy to get loose and just slid it out of bounds, unfortunately.
Grand Rapids with the basketball, and up and in by Pangborn. And with that, Grand Rapids in a lead, 1 point lead, 21-20. Grand Rapids with the lead with 8:40 left here in the first. Mid with the basketball, driving in with it. Foul called on the play. Kareem Alam drove to the bucket with it. He's fouled on the play. And he will go to the line, and he'll get a couple of shots.
Yeah, that foul was on Davis, and hopefully we can pick another one up on him here in the first half, maybe make him play a little bit defense, try to get some foul trouble on some of these Raiders.
First one up and in.
Returning for the Raiders, number 32, Samuel
for Alam.
In for the Lakers, number 20,
Spencer Johnston comes back in for the Lakers.
Caleb Paxi.
And he's followed in there by Paxi. As Alam's at the line for his second free throw attempt. And it's good. 1 point lead, 22-21 with 8:30 left here in the first. Scott Govitz along with Brent Mishler at Maury Courts in Mount Pleasant. Glad to have you along with us as the Lakers come away with the rebound after Pangborn's miss. Miles with the basketball, now looks inside. Caleb Paxi misses, and away comes the Raiders. Spencer Johnston that time in front of Pangborn. Ball goes out of bounds, but it will remain Grand Rapids ball.
Yeah, what you're seeing now is mid is face guarding Davison. So Grand Rapids is going to look to either space out those players and take advantage of that overload as they look to get an open three there.
Well, they did get the open three. Pangborn from the corner, he rims in and out, and away with it comes Mid-Michigan. Mid's doing a pretty good job on the defensive boards, Brent.
So far, so good. That was one of the big keys coming out of the game is they needed to rebound well defensively, and they've done that so far.
Well, it doesn't hurt that you have that happening. Spencer Johnston with a three-point basket, and Mid takes the 4-point lead with 7.5 to go. Spencer Johnston, I was just looking to see what his average is, Brent, but I don't think he's averaged a whole lot of three-pointers this year.
No, he's normally works best getting in the lane and either dishing to wide-open guys or getting to the free throw line. He averages about 9 points a game, but 3 points are normally not his strong suit, but we'll certainly take them.
Well, Mid comes back with the basketball after the miss by Davis, and Grand Rapids comes away quickly. Mid doing a good job there, and I think that's part of what they have to do is slow down that transition because
Correct.
Grand Rapids likes to move quick. Shot put up there by Sargent for Grand Rapids, and once again, Mid comes away with the defensive board.
Yeah, rebounding is...
I'm sure the Raiders coach quite agrees with that call. It doesn't matter on paper or tomorrow. It's still going to be Mid's ball.
I have yet to see a coach's complaints overturn a call, but doesn't mean they don't always agree with them.
Someone might want to talk to Spencer's grandpa about that.
Well, that's true. You know, Spencer has played a lot of years for Coach Roy Johnston at Beaverton, and he has been known to exert his influence on refs.
Well, look who's back in the game, and look who takes a three-point shot from deep. As the shot was missed by Colton, that away comes Grand Rapids with the ball. We've got 5.5 left here in the first. As Grand Rapids with the basketball, nice play there.
For Ewing.
Not Ewing with that basket for Grand Rapids, and they're back on offense again after the Mid-Michigan miss. They're moving quickly with the ball. They're down 2, 27-25. 5 minutes left here in the first. Got a nice crowd on hand again tonight here at Maury Courts. And up with the shot is Davis. He misses. But with the rebound is Paxi. And back comes Mid with the basketball. Oftentimes when you see Colton in the game, you'll see Spencer drive the ball in and then kick it back out to him, or do that.
And I think that's what Grand Rapids thought was going to happen too, is they were playing the pass and Spencer was able to slip through and slide in a layup there.
So Spencer Johnston picks up another 2 points, and that's a 4-point lead now for Mid. As back comes Grand Rapids with the shot and the miss. And Mid again with a defensive board.
It's really been a lot of one and done.
Mid coming back quickly. 3-point shot by Antis. This miss. He wants a foul on the play. Not called. Grand Rapids with the basketball. Driving down and inside. Nothing there. Colton Antis with the board. And back quickly comes Mid. Immediately
Kareem Alam
up there by Kareem Alam. That's a 3-pointer. That stretches the lead to 32-25, and we've got a timeout on the play. And Grand Rapids coach not liking what he sees there.
No, I think he thought there was some contact underneath. He wasn't too happy. A lot of Grand Rapids players were sitting there trying to officiate as well. Mid comes down and Alam drills a wide open 3. He's got 7 quick points so far in the first half today and really has been a catalyst for them off the bench.
Well, Alam with those points, as you mentioned, and overall they're spreading things around, but earlier was the Colton Antis show with his 3-point shooting, Brent, and you were mentioning where he's at in the nation, and he's right up there.
Yeah, he's first in the nation with 122 made 3-point attempts this year. That is by far and away the largest amount. I think second place was 112, and the second place person actually played 3 more games. So his made 3-pointers per game is well in the lead.
Well, those are the types of things that are points of pride for a basketball squad and a small school like Mid-Michigan Community College. But in addition to that, you know, from the hometown folks in Fulton, where Colton comes from, and folks listening in Fulton can have great pride in the work that Antis has done here. He's a sophomore. This is his final year with Mid-Michigan. Grand Rapids with the miss. They'll get the rebound, kick back out, and a missed shot there.
Cologne came down with that rebound again, Scott. That's the weak side guard coming down to clean up the mess.
Mid working the ball around the perimeter, and another 3-point shot by Alam is missed. And the rebound coming down to Ewing. 3:20 left here in the first half now. 7-point lead for Mid. And a traveling call. Traveling call going to go
number 3, Zach Hangborn, along with 34
against Ryans, and the ball turned over to the Lakers.
Number 21, Weston Miles.
Weston Miles coming back in for Mid.
And Weston's another one of those kids out of Lansing area. We've had quite a bit of success recruiting kids out of Lansing. Weston's older brother, Mikhail, played here for 2 years and was an All-American and is now at Davenport. As Weston looks to get a 3, can't hit it. Nate fights for the rebound, but I think it was out of bounds.
Weston's shoes may be a little bit cold coming in, but thought he might have the hot hand there as he puts up a 3 at the first possession, but it'll be Grand Rapids basketball as they work their offense. Always a lot of noise from these teams. Fans here, including us, have a good front seat opportunity right next to the court.
We talked about that foul. I think Davison just picked up his second, which is going to be interesting to see what Coach Brockman does with him with 2.5 left in the first half.
His second, 14.
Nate Colon at the line for mid.
Number 3, Nate
He'll
Colon.
get 2 shots, and the first one is up and in. Not many team fouls so far. 3 for mid and 4 for Grand Rapids. As Colon puts up his second, and that's good. And the score is now 34-25 with 2.5 left here in the first half. Grand Rapids basketball and working inside with it. And the miss from the hand of McIntosh, ball being fought for. And here comes mid with the basketball after Spence DeMall picks it up. Spence DeMall now with the ball all the way in, plays it up and in, and the lead has expanded now to 11. Not sure, Brent, with the average scores that these teams put up, that I would see the score at this point.
That's what I was just going to say is, Grand Rapids coming in, scoring over 90 points a game, being held to 25 here in the first half. Really has been a great team effort as, again, you see Davison get in the lane, but he's surrounded by Lakers.
4 Lakers collapse on the ball that time, and they come away with it, and they're going to get another 3-point attempt, and it's just off the rim. That time Colon had a wide open 3, and off the rim. And here comes Grand Rapids. They keep trying to feed that ball down low, and mid continuing to come away with it.
That's part of that pick and roll defense Coach House talked about.
Nice play there by Weston with that layup. A reverse layup, Brent. Was a sweet little move up and in. And the Raiders need another timeout.
Yeah, Coach Markbaum wants to settle them down a little bit. Really, right now, Grand Rapids isn't really getting back on defense. They want to push the tempo on offense, but right now their biggest problem is they're not playing any defense. They're giving up 38 points right now to mid. They need to pick it up on the defensive end if they want to claw back into this game.
Well, this is a team that comes in here having winning their last 5 games, so not only are they able to put up some points, but they're on a winning streak.
And that winning streak does include a win over number 1 Ancilla last week. They were able to beat them by 2. Ancilla was the number 1 team in the country before taking that loss. So they've came in hot as well, and Mid's defense has really clamped down on them so far in the first half.
Well, we're back to live action after the Grand Rapids timeout. About a minute left to play here in the first half, and mid stretch the lead now to 13 points. Grand Rapids with the basketball. Dribble inside once again, up and in this time for Robinson. That's the play they keep going back to.
That was a nice finish by Robinson. They got switched up on a mismatch where Cologne was guarding the post, and Grand Rapids was able to recognize that right away and get in for a layup.
3-point attempt going up for mid. That time Cologne with the same 3-point shot. He tried 2 trips back. No good. Grand Rapids with the ball, 32 seconds left. Setting up their offensive play. Kicked outside to Pangborn, who misses a 3-point shot. Mid comes away with it, and Coach House is saying 1 shot. Clock down to 16 seconds, and the ball happens to be in this nation's leading 3-point shooter. And he dribbles towards the 3-point shot line, takes a step back. Oh, it just misses off the front of the rim. Rebound comes back, up and in. And there's the buzzer. That time with the rebound was Grant Gage who put it back up after Colton's miss. But a good first half with the score. Mid-Michigan Community College 38 and the Grand Rapids Community College Raiders 27. So we're at halftime, and we'd like you to stick around. Welcome back to Maury Courts, everybody. I'm Scott Govitz, and Brent Mischler left for a little halftime refreshment.
All right.
But I'm joined by someone who is known a great deal around this area, in fact, around the state, and probably well beyond, having spent 42 years in the classroom at Mid-Michigan Community College.
That's
Chuck
right.
Bowden.
That's right. Hi, Scott.
Hi,
Glad to
Chuck.
be here tonight.
Well, welcome. Now, this is also not an area that you're unaccustomed to. You're at virtually every one of these Mid-Michigan Community College basketball games.
I've been to as many as possible. I worked here a long time when we didn't have any sports. And having an athletic team like this, having a night like this, what could be better for the college?
Yeah,
I love it.
It's fantastic. Brent was saying earlier, Chuck, that we have attendance that is like number 7 in the nation for these games. We're here in a public facility at Maury Courts, beautiful facility, but a lot of other activity going on courts, other courts near us and the like. The court is skirted by bleachers, so you get really up close to the action. But it's good action. It's been fun.
Oh, it's great. And if you'd been here in the early days, we didn't need those bleachers over there. There was just enough room here. But the program, we've gotten some of the best coaches in the area, and they have built a program that I think is second to none. And look at the number of people here, and that lets you know that.
Yeah.
Even when we were D3, I know we were number 1 or 2 in the nation in home attendance. And I got lucky and went out to New Jersey when our women played in the national tournament a few years ago. We had more people from Mid at those games than some of the home teams that lived there in New Jersey. So that's the kind of support that they've brought to the college.
Yeah, it's been a terrific addition for Mid-Michigan Community College. What does it mean, though, Chuck, to the student population? I mean, you've been around a long time. In fact, you're here because tonight we want to recognize you because you've spent so much time in the classroom and you're actually going to be retiring.
That's right. This is my last semester as full-time faculty at Mid.
So what does it mean, do you think, to the attraction of other kids, sports programs in general, to a small community college?
Well, look at what we've done with the team. We've got a pipeline up to the UP on the women's team that have brought people down here who didn't know we existed before. If I look around here, and I've seen most of these parents and families the whole time that their kids have been playing here, and I think it's helps put Mid on the map.
Yeah.
We've probably got 25 to 30 students a year that wouldn't have come to Mid if it wasn't for our athletic program. So I think it not only helps us as a school, it's really good for them. It gets them to be part of something larger than themselves and to be able to play at another level. And for a lot of these guys and women, they haven't been able to do that. So I think that's a really good part of why athletics are important to us.
And do you see any sort of difference with those students in the classroom, their attitude, or, you know, they have to make it because if they don't make it, they don't play?
Well, I'm kind of chuckling because oftentimes I'll go to the athletes the very first day or the first of the part of the semester, and I'll ask them if they can see what I have in my hand. And they'll go, I don't see anything. I go, it's called your eligibility. And that's what they take. Every one of the people on our teams know that if they don't make it in the classroom, they don't get out on the court. And it's a really good motivator for
I suppose it is. Well, I'm Scott Govitz, and we're sitting with Chuck Bowden. Chuck spent 42 years in the classroom at Mid-Michigan Community College, retiring after this semester. We're at halftime. Mid-Michigan in the lead, 38-27. So, Chuck, not only have you been active in watching the sport, but you have a little closer connection than that, don't you?
Yeah, I do kind of. For the last, I think it's 6 years since Coach House came to the men's team, my grandson, Taylor Artis, was a player for 2 years on the team, and he's now the head assistant coach for our men's team. So even though I'm going to retire from Mid, he's not going to retire.
Right.
So you can be pretty sure you'll see me at all the games, not just because I bleed Lakers. I also want to support him and enjoy being able to see him in both the player role before and as a coach now.
Yeah, that has to be pretty neat to see grandson like that who's actively engaged in a program like this.
It is. It's almost getting now to where he used to be seen as Chuck's grandson. Now I'm seen as Taylor's grandfather.
There you go.
We've done
It's
a bit
turning
of a
around.
switch there.
Well, We're happy to have our viewers on Mac TV Network tonight joining us, and we're going to be back to live action here in just a few minutes, but we're pleased that Chuck is able to join us. After 42 years in the classroom, what's left to see? I mean, have you seen it all?
No.
What's
you
left?
You would think I would. One of the things I've learned in the 42 years is every year you get really great students, and then you go, I'm never going to get like that again, and the next year new ones come. I am as connected and like the students I have this year as much as I did those back in the fall of '76 when I first came, maybe when you might have been one of those students too.
Maybe not that far back, but I indeed was one of your students.
I know that. And so I think that's the neat thing for me is I have become perpetually optimistic about what the next generation is bringing to us. The students that I have in all of my classes are dedicated, they're smart, they're working hard, and I'm just as pleased with the students and the staff at the college today as I have been throughout my entire career. I'm really fortunate to have been able to spend my career in what I think, and I might be a little biased, is simply the best community college in the state of Michigan.
We're chatting with Chuck Bowden. I'm Scott Govitz, and Chuck has been in the classroom for 42 years at Mid. And during that time, Chuck, you have seen a lot of difference. So, for example, when you first started at Mid, the campus didn't look the same.
Whoa.
And there's this thing over here in Mount Pleasant that we're dealing with.
It's amazing the differences that I've seen. We were, as you know, we were housed up in Harrison, and that was our whole campus, maybe 1,000 students. Now we've got 3 campuses, one in Harrison, here in Mount Pleasant, and an incredible online group. And so that growth has been phenomenal. The technology has changed dramatically. Someone asked me earlier, what was the computer system like? What was technology like when we started? I started laughing. When you were a student, high tech was new chalk. That's about all we had. But the thing that hasn't changed is Mid, I think, has offered opportunities to people to make changes in their lives.
Yeah.
And any of us who've been around for a while, if you have even a little bit to do with that, you can't help but feel good about it. I really believe the legacy of our college is that we try to change people's lives, and I think we've been really good at it. We help students realize the potential that they've had inside of them all along. And it's been incredibly gratifying for me to be able to be part of that.
I'm betting that there are some people listening or watching tonight who probably had you in the classroom as well.
My last count was somewhere around 11 or 12,000 students have gone through my classrooms at Mid. I don't remember all their names. I don't remember all of them, but I remember a whole lot of them.
You know, it's in one thing for sure all of our listeners know is that they can all think about that educator that made a difference in their life. And I know that you are someone who has made a difference in a life. And it has to be so gratifying to be in a profession where you have the ability to say, well, you wouldn't say it because your humbleness, but to know that you made a literal difference, change in someone's life, entirely.
It's the single most gratifying thing about this job is even when you don't know you might be having an impact, you can. And sometimes everything you try to do doesn't work. But the things that just happen, talking out of class, interacting with people, sometimes you have an impact you just don't know. You've seen it. You see our students. Many of them come to Mid thinking maybe they're not quite ready for college. Maybe they haven't been successful. We get to let them know they can. And when you let people have the confidence in what their talents really are, they'll perform in ways that even they don't understand.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredible.
Well, what's next?
I'm going to, somebody asked me that this afternoon, and I said I got 42 years worth of pleasure reading I'm going to catch up on, do a little bit of traveling, get to spend more time with friends and family than I have, and I'll be back as an adjunct instructor next winter. I can't stay away from Mid completely, so I'm going to go from full-time. I'll teach a couple classes next winter, and be at every home basketball game.
That's awesome. Well, Chuck, congratulations to you. It's to spend an entire career with an institution is not something that many people will do moving forward the way you have. But to have 42 years is pretty incredible, and I'll just say for myself and those individuals who may be watching that had you as an instructor, on behalf of all of us, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. And I'll talk to those people who were my students before, too, because I want them to know I've probably learned as much from my students as my students learned from me.
Incredible. Well, thank you, Chuck. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Congratulations to you. And we're going to be joined back here with Brent Mishler in just a moment.
Sounds good. Thanks, Scott.
Welcome back to Maury Courts, everybody. Scott Govitz sitting alongside Brent Mishler. We are courtside at Maury Courts for this Wednesday evening matchup between the Raiders of Grand Rapids and the Mid-Michigan Community College Lakers. The Lakers with the lead here, 11-point lead, 38-27. Brent, what do you think from that first half?
Overall, I think it was a great first half for Mid. They played well defensively, locking down Grand Rapids only 27 points. We're able to use hot shooting to start off and then kind of hang on there. Big story of the first half is Curtis Davison leading Grand Rapids with 12 points, but only on 5 of 12 shooting. So he's going to need to heat up to keep them in the game, and they're looking to do that right now.
Well, Mid-Michigan Community College started with the basketball and turned it over after Spencer Johnson's shot was blocked. And Grand Rapids came back, just missing their three-point attempt, and now put back up and another miss, that time the miss by Robinson. Back comes Mid with the basketball. We're just underway here in the second half at Maury Courts, and we're glad to have you along. Enjoyed our visit with Chuck Bowden at halftime. Chuck spending 42 years in the classroom at Mid, is going to be retiring after this semester.
I think the best way to describe Chuck is an institutional treasure for Mid, and his loss, retiring, will be a big loss for the college to replace on many levels, certainly in the classroom, but volunteering, philanthropy, all of that as well.
Grand Rapids with the basketball. We've got 18 minutes and 40 seconds here in the second half. We expected a much higher scoring game at this point, or at least I did. Grand Rapids coming in here averaging 91 points, but we've seen a whole lot of that right there. And now a technical foul called on Grand Rapids, and that's going to go against Davis. Davis that time, Davison wanting the foul to be called. It wasn't, so his outburst costs him a technical foul. And we're going to send Mid to the line.
Number 10, Colton
Antis misses the technical foul opportunity. Here's a second shot.
That's a big play right now for Grand Rapids, is Davidson picking up his third foul just a minute into the second half. It'll be interesting to see how Grand Rapids plays without him for a little while, not only to calm him down, but also because of foul trouble, he's going to spend quite a bit of time on the bench.
Davison coming in here as the fifth leading scorer in the nation with 24.7 points a game will be sorely missed.
Bench warning on Grand Rapids.
Sitting on that bench while Mid comes down with the basketball. Spencer Johnston, the sophomore, inside to Miles. Miles.
That's a great spin move by Miles. Again, got the defense looking at Antis to see what he was going to do, if he's going to pop for a three, and was able to slide right in the middle of the lane for a nice finish on a layup.
41-27 with 18 minutes left in the ball game. Grand Rapids with the ball, and the shot missed by McIntosh, and the rebound comes the way of Spence DeMall. And Mid comes down, and Antis with a long three-point basket.
And that gives Antis 16 points so far for the game on 5 threes, and then that free throw we saw on the technical. So he is right around his average each night, averaging 17 points. He's going to need to keep scoring for Mid tonight.
Foul called on the play there, and I think it's going to be a shooting foul. And going to the line is going to be Pangborn for Grand Rapids. Brent, do you know if Antis has to do anything special tonight in his shooting, or is he close to having it wrapped up, or does he?
I'm not sure, Scott, but what I do know is what we're seeing tonight is a typical game for him. Is he's going to launch them whether they're near the three line or far out, and look to get him in a little bit of rhythm. He made 4 threes in the first half, and is already looking to add to that so far.
Pangborn misses the first, makes the second, and the score is 44-28 in favor of the Lakers as Mid comes down with the basketball. Spencer Johnston with it. He'll dribble back out towards the top of the key. He lets her go from 3, and Spencer Johnston knocks down a 3-point play.
And that's his second 3 of the game, so he's definitely feeling the sophomore love today, hitting his second 3.
Spencer hit hard there on the defensive side, goes to the floor. 3-point shot missed by Grand Rapids. Ball coming down right in front of us.
Something you're starting to see right now is Grand Rapids is really picking up the intensity on crashing those offensive boards. That was something that Mid really did a great job of in the first half, is limiting them to one shot, and now they're starting to convert some of those offensive rebounds.
McIntosh that time for Grand Rapids, dribbling the ball in and putting it in off the glass, and it's a 17-point lead. Antis with the 3-point attempt. Oh, and it's in again. Colton Antis with the slight step to the side to get beside his defender, and then when that little sliver of opening came, up and in.
And he's really been coming off those screens hard in a catch-and-shoot position, and so that time, as he comes off the curl screen, catches, fakes, and waits for the defender to go by, and then has a wide-open 3.
And Davison is looking to check back in for Grand Rapids, so he wasn't sitting too long, and the lead's been extended here, 50-30.
Right, and Grand Rapids is really at a time where they can't afford for him to be on the bench much longer. Down 20, just starting the second half. They need to get him back in to keep this game close.
There was great defense that time by Mid. They came back with the basketball. They missed one shot, but the ball chased down by Johnston. And Mid-Michigan with the basketball, looking to increase its lead even more. Nice pass down inside, laid up and in by Carter. And that's a 22-point lead for the Lakers. And we've got a timeout called. Grand Rapids, Brent, has to be coaching staff asking itself, what are we going to do here? On both ends, they have some issues to deal with.
Yeah, they're really falling asleep defensively. I think they're spending a lot of time trying to figure out where Antis is on the court. A lot of eyes are on him, and rightfully so. That has led to some wide open slip screens and some nice duck-ins by Mid's bigs, able to finish around the rim.
2 games back, I think it was the Kalamazoo game. I think it was the Kalamazoo game, and I was here watching Mid play. They sat one defender on Colton who literally would not come off him, and generally you'll see Mid's guard Spencer Johnston dribble that ball down towards the basket and then look to dump it out when the defenders collapse on him, but they didn't do that. They stayed right on him, and he had an off night. Yeah,
it's really going to take Grand Rapids to match the intensity that Mid is bringing with right now, and they tried to do that as a inbounds quick and attack the hole.
Well, Pangborn went right to the basket that time off the inbounds, and he's met by 2 Mid defenders and fouled on the play. And he'll go to the line with an opportunity for 2 shots. His first one is up and in. 15:30 left here. 52-31. Mid-Michigan Community College in the lead. A couple of substitutions coming in. As Pangborn's second shot is up, and that's also good.
Grand Rapids is looking to pick up the pace a little bit, extending to a full court kind of trapping zone. Mid's able to break it easy, and they actually had Antis on the wing for a wide open 3. Just couldn't hit it to him quick enough, but Grant's underneath and wide open.
Granson makes that off Spencer Johnston's pass is an easy 2 for Mid. And you're right, that last time, foul going to be called here. We're going to get a blocking foul called against Spencer Johnston, who goes down hard. We had the luxury, Brent, of watching Spencer Johnston play his career, being from Beaverton, and that's where Spencer's from. And we saw him on the floor a lot through his career.
He's on the floor, and he's a floor leader. And he is really what makes this team tick. I know he's been banged up for a couple weeks by taking so many of those poundings. His ankle's a little sore, tender. But what you just saw in that layup of Grant Gage is Spencer finding the open man and letting them convert easily.
Spencer out of the game, and Alam coming in for him for Mid-Michigan. And you mentioned Spencer. He's been a little bit injured here, as you say, over the past few days. We were speaking with his mom earlier, and she said that, especially when he's trying to make cuts out there on the floor, it's really tough on his injury. And so he takes a seat because of the foul and the fact that he's got an injury as well. Grand Rapids missing the close shot there, and back comes Mid with it. Coast to coast with the basketball comes Damal.
Great finish by Spence Damal. Rule number 1 in transition is you need to stop the ball. Nobody from Grand Rapids did that. Spence was able to get a layup.
That time, 3-point basket by Darren Ewing Jr. Ewing with the wide open 3-pointer up at the top of the key, nails it, and the score's now 56-35 with 14 minutes left to go here in this ball game. We're at Morey Courts, the home of the Lakers, here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Glad to have you along, listening on MAC TV Network. The turnover. Grand Rapids will have the ball as we have a couple of more substitutions coming in for the Lakers. Caleb Paxey, number 34, checking in for the Lakers. The ball rolling the entire court there as Grand Rapids looks to save some time on the clock.
And Kareem's doing a nice job of really bothering Davison as he's able to get off a 3 and make it. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. That was great defense by Alam, and Davison was just able to rise up and hit a 3.
Davison sort of with that forearm shiver gets Alam off him, and finding that breathing room has the opportunity to put that up and in for 3. But that's answered quickly as Weston Miles comes back and knocks one down for Mid. Back quickly coming Grand Rapids, going coast to coast with it is McIntosh, and a foul will be called on the play. And more importantly, at this point, Brent, if you're mid, you want the clock to run.
Yeah, this is a good example of Grand Rapids being able to get the ball out even after a make and get down the court extremely fast. Very reminiscent of Michigan State at the Division I level is they are able to execute that transition game from coming off of makes as well as coming off of misses.
75% free throw shooter is McIntosh, who was at the line, and on the miss, Mid comes away with it. And there's a lot of activity out there, lots of grabbing for the ball, and a foul is going to be called on the play. Defensive pressure is intensified here as Grand Rapids and the Raiders know that they have limited time to make up the points needed with a 59-38 point lead for Mid.
Right, they're going to have to create some turnovers here, score in bunches, get a quick 6-0 spurt, 8-0 spurt like that, something pretty quick to stay in the game. Their problem has been their half-court defense as Weston Miles is able to draw in and get the N1 opportunity on that.
Weston Miles that time found himself all alone against McIntosh, dribbled it right to the basket, makes the bucket, and we'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
And Weston's got a quick 7 points here the second half, so he's been a spurt the second half, providing some of that spark that Coach House was talking about, of multiple guys stepping up and really looking to be balanced.
Weston unable to convert the 3-point play, and Grand Rapids comes back with the basketball. 61-38, 13 minutes left here in the ball game. Grand Rapids with the ball in the 3-point basket. No, 2-point. 2-point hand going up by the referee on that as McIntosh knocks that down at the top. Miles with the basketball. He's going to take the other side of the rim this time, dribbles it all the way in, and another easy two.
And what you're seeing is Grand Rapids is extending their defense way out over the 3-point line, trying to cause some turnovers. The problem is that's creating all sorts of seams, not getting any help side defense from Grand Rapids, and layup after layup for Mid.
And that time Miles is going to pick up the foul. And
his first.
That's going to be the 5th team foul against Mid.
Yeah, and you're starting to see Grand Rapids being more aggressive on offense. They've been able to draw quite a bit of fouls. Already 5 team fouls on Mid here in the second half. They're going to be shooting free throws.
Interesting to look at Miles, Brent. You mentioned his brother playing for the Lakers a couple of years back, and if you didn't know better, you would think they were twins.
They look exactly alike, but they're different players. Weston's a little bit taller, a little bit more of a go to the hoop. McHale is very much a catch-shoot, a volume scorer. Both great players coming out of East Lansing, and Mid has been able to use that Lansing pipeline for quite a few players.
Well, another dribble and drive, this time by Grant Gage. Grant looking to take that ball in and score, but he's partially blocked and out of bounds. Mid will retain the basketball, and they have the lead, 63-41 with 12 minutes left to go. Again, down low goes Mid with the basketball. Carter with a miss, and here comes Grand Rapids. Driving all the way in with it. It's McIntosh who misses. Davis with the missed putback. And McIntosh misses, and now finally the ball put in by Coleman.
And that was something that Coach House was worried about, his offensive rebounding opportunities. Grand Rapids was able to get 3 offensive rebounds on there, finally convert. We saw in the first half Mid doing a great job of doing that one shot and done. Grand Rapids has really been pounding the offensive rebounds the second half. We're going to need to get our guards to dig down and come up with some of those weak side rebounds like we did in the first half and really limit them.
Coach House slowing the offense down here a little bit. We've been coming down and shooting, and now we're going to end up with a violation, clock violation here, I think. We'll see. Their referees are going to get together and see what they come up with here, but it looks like a turnover against Mid. I think Coach House said slow it down, let's eat some clock here. It's a 20-point lead, but there's 11 minutes left.
Yeah, this is something Mid has had unfortunately happen often this year is they were able to get out to games, get out to leads, and sometimes they take their foot off the pedal a little too early, allow teams to creep back in, and get momentum on their side. What Mid needs to do is continue to be aggressive, continue to use what's working for them, which is to spread the court, get driving lanes, and look to find Antis for open shots.
And what you don't want is what just occurred, and that's Miles picking up a foul, and that's going to stop the clock at 10:57. And Mid picks up their 6th foul. So Spencer Johnston's going to come back into the ball game, and he is going to replace Miles, who takes a seat. And I think you said he's 7 points.
Yeah, he's actually hit a couple more layups since then, so he's up to 11. Leading scorer right now is Colton Antis with 19, followed by Miles with 11.
Grand Rapids with the basketball and the need to score quickly, and they do, just like that. 3-point basket by Anthony McIntosh. McIntosh averaging 16.5 points a game, comes in and knocks down a 3. Almost every 3-point play or 3-point shot has been at the top of the key for them as well.
And that's really where they like to run their offense out of. They like to do a high screen and roll. That time, McIntosh just decided he was going to hit it. Unfortunately for Mid, Antis kind of takes an ill-advised shot trying to get back and one-up McIntosh. Not getting that within the flow of the offense, I think, was one of the issues there. Trying to catch and shoot without coming off a screen has really hurt him.
Well, that time, as you saw, you're going to get an over-the-back foul called here, but that's an interesting play that we just saw there, Brent, as McIntosh for Grand Rapids just elected to let the ball roll all the way down the court so as not to burn up any valuable seconds for them to get back into this contest. And Spencer Johnston took a dive at the ball, decided to do that, and nearly cost a 3-point play.
Yeah, and what you'll probably start seeing is Mid just giving a little bit of token pressure in the backcourt, not really pressing or anything like that, just making them pick the ball up so the clock can start instead of rolling it all the way down. Great flash right there by Paskey.
He had the open look, but we got a whistle just before the shot, so it's a dead ball foul going to go against Grand Rapids. And Mid will have the basketball. Grand Rapids chipping away here. They've got this lead knocked down to 17 points with 10 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Spencer Johnston with the basketball.
And that last play was a great set that Mid ran. What they were doing was running Antis off a double screen. As everyone was watching him come off the double screen, the screener Paskey slipped to the hole and was wide open, was able to pick up a foul. Again, Spence Amal getting in the lane and able to finish. That is his 10th point of the game so far tonight.
Well, that also stops the bleeding a little bit as the Lakers were on a bit of a cold spell, and Grand Rapids is continuing to either look for that 3 or drive the ball right to the bucket. And we've got another foul called as Mid's going to pick up its 7th foul, and they're going to go to the line for the shooting foul.
Shooting 2 for the Raiders, number 5.
At the line
Davison.
is Davison. And Davison's first one is up and good. 65-47, MMCC in the lead. I was thinking there, Brent, for a while, you could just kind of feel the tempo of this game shifting a little bit and shifting in favor of Grand Rapids.
Right, they're really trying to speed up, get more possessions out of this game. Mid is really slowing the ball down a little bit, trying to take some clock off, which is fine, but really we got to make sure we still get quality shots out of that. And if you do, that's great, but if not, it's not helping.
Spencer Johnston with a nifty little play there.
You see a little bit of token pressure here to get him to pick the ball up, and then they'll retreat and be able to bring the ball up with the time coming off. Great drive by Spencer, able to finish at the rim. His 10th point tonight.
Spencer on the floor after that shot, no foul called, but the Lakers come away with the points, and Grand Rapids now working their offense. Double team pressure there at the top of the key. That's that place where Davison and McIntosh have been stopping, and that's exactly the finish they've been doing. That time Davison all the way in. He misses the layup. Mid comes away. Spencer Johnston with a nice pass, and the block on Spence DeMall out of bounds. It'll still be Mid's ball.
Yeah, that was a great play all the way around. Spencer Johnston finding Spencer Mall, cutting to the lane wide open. Again, you saw kind of Colton circling back behind the play. He likes to be the trailer to hit the 3. As Grand Rapids was aware that they were looking for that, Spencer Mall was able to slip to the screen, slip to the hole, that is, and
there you see the 3 by Colton. It in and out. And away with the basketball comes Grand Rapids.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott, anytime he shoots, it looks like it's going in. I know that, 45% is incredible from the three-point line, but every time he shoots, it looks like it's going in.
Three-point basket there. Mid might want to think about a timeout here before long with 8.5 to play. There, 67-51 is the score, and they've got the basketball right now. Spencer Johnson going to try another three-point shot off the rim, and away with the rebound is Ewing Jr. for Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids with the ball and the layup and the drive. And McIntosh puts it up and in. 8 minutes left now. Lead now down to 14 points. Here comes Spencer Johnson with the ball, and Mid will now call a timeout. Well, you can feel the tempo shifting, Brent, and the lead is now down to 14 points.
Yep.
Almost 8 minutes left here to go in the ball game.
Yep.
And it is going to promise to be an interesting finish.
A good finish we're setting up for here. Grand Rapids is being more aggressive for sure the second half compared to what they were in the first half. Really attacking the ball, attacking the rim, not settling for three-pointers. They've been able to finish at the rim. Also, really hitting the offensive boards hard the second half, giving themselves more second chance opportunities that they've been able to finish on. That all has put Mid kind of on its heels a little bit. And as a result, Mid's already committed 7 fouls, so Grand Rapids will be shooting for the rest of the game. And it's also kind of taken them out of their flow offensively, Mid that is, kind of getting some of that stagnation a little bit. They need to continue to move the ball, continue to find the open guy, and take advantage of Grand Rapids keen so much on Antis. He's still going to get his shots. He's going to be open, and there's no doubt that they'll find him. But when he's not, other players need to step up and take advantage of that overeager defense of Grand Rapids.
Well, the buzz we were hearing earlier amongst this sizable crowd here at Morey Courts is kind of settled down as the score is shifting a little bit. As we go back to live action, we're glad to have you along with us. I'm Scott Govitz, and Brent Mischler is with us as we bring you live action here from Morey Courts. Mid with the shot there by Dumal, it's missed, and Johnston with the pass out.
And now you're starting to see Mid get up a little bit. Paskey just stepped out of bounds on that offensive rebound, but you had Spencer Johnson come down again as a point guard, dig and get that offensive rebound. We need more of that on the defensive end from our guards as well.
Well, here we go. Grand Rapids now with the basketball, and the 14-point lead for Mid. 7.5 minutes left on the clock. The long three-point attempt is partially blocked, and Spencer Johnson comes away with a loose basketball. Here it comes up court. Spence DeMall handling the ball. He's one-on-one against Davis. The hot hand for Grand Rapids.
He's going to pick up his 4th foul, I think.
I think you're right, Brent. I do think that's his 4th. That'll be the 16th foul for Grand Rapids. Mid-Michigan already with 17 fouls.
And I don't know that Coach Bronco has much of a choice here. I think he's going to roll the dice and let him stay in. If I were Mid, I would attack him right again in the post right away and see. He's either going to need to play off or risk picking up his 5th foul, which he's not going to want to do.
Right. I agree with you, Brent. And that time with the basketball driving to the bucket was Weston Miles, and Miles is going to head to the free throw line. You might hear some of the Grand Rapids faithful around us not agreeing with that call.
Yeah, well, they're not the ones getting paid the ref today, and I haven't seen anything new. So Miles is going to go to the line, and he's going to shoot free throws.
Miles with the first one up and no good. And ball being fought for, and Grand Rapids comes away with it. McIntosh with the basketball coming up court. 14-point lead still. 7 minutes left to play. Shot is missed. And Dumal with it. He fumbles it out of bounds, but I think it's going to go off Grand Rapids. The ball off him, off Davison, and Mid-Michigan will have the ball.
And Davison was really being aggressive there, very dangerously flirting with his 5th foul and 60 feet away from the hoop. It'll be interesting to see how Mid attacks him on the defensive end to make sure that he's still playing defense.
Well, we'll see what happens on the offensive side and see if he loosens up a little bit on his man and see what that creates for Mid-Michigan, who has
Interestingly
the ball.
enough, he's guarding Antis right now, so he can't leave him too far.
Mid with the basketball and the lead. We're in the second half here at Maury Courts. As Grand Rapids comes back, and another three-point attempt, and over the back, not called there. And Grand Rapids will come with the basketball. Pangborn driving in, then kicks it back out, but he's going to get called for the offensive foul.
That was a great job by Antis sliding in. He was well established. Pangborn got up in the air, and the coaches say you don't leave your feet, and that's the reason why, because he crashed right in to Antis and really had nowhere else to go. Easy call for the ref.
Well, here comes the Lakers with the basketball with 6.5 to go here in the ball game. They still have a lead. It is a 14-point lead, 67-53. And we're going to get another whistle and a foul. That time, Pangborn bumping against Weston Miles coming across the top of the key.
Foul on number 3, Zach Pangborn.
And we're going to get a timeout call. It's going to be a full timeout for Grand Rapids as Mid heads toward their sidelines. The coaches get together over there, Brent, and try to decide what to do in these remaining 6.5 minutes.
And now we're seeing that, Mid has been able to be aggressive on the offensive end, and Grand Rapids has kind of picked up some, we'll call them ill-advised fouls, where they're really not defending smartly. That it was a perfect example, screener coming across, and the defender just chucked him right in the chest, standing right in front of the ref. Weston Miles is going to go to the line. It's going to be a free throw shooting contest the last 6 minutes here.
We were talking about free throws a little earlier, and what that might mean, and what does Mid look like, and what does Grand Rapids look like from the line.
So Mid is a very streaky free throw shooting team. There are games where they really knock down everything, particularly if you have Colton Antis shooting his free throws. Weston Miles is a good free throw shooter. Spencer Johnson is a good free throw shooter. But there are other games where free throw shooting has really cost them in trying to hang on to games. And the first time they played Grand Rapids was a perfect example of that. They were down 1 with 4 seconds left and ended up going 1 for 4 at the free throw line in the last 4 seconds and was able to force overtime but had an opportunity to win it. And then just recently this Monday we're up as they were looking to finish out the game and ended up going 0 for 6 from the line in the last minute, allowing the other team to come back and pull off a win at the end.
Quick whistle there after the second shot and miss.
I think they're going to get a lane violation on the defense, so Weston's going to shoot one more free throw.
So Weston Miles, a 6'4" freshman guard out of East Lansing, puts a second one up. It does not go. And the rebound comes down into the hands of Gregory Robinson. Now we've got a dead ball or whistle here and for a dead ball. We'll see if we can figure out what's being called. Not sure what's going on.
I think they had a little bit of water on the court, so they just wanted to make sure they got that picked up so nobody slipped and got hurt.
So we've got about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left here. Back to live action as Grand Rapids with the drive and the make is Anthony McIntosh. Between McIntosh and Davison, it's pretty much a two-man wrecking crew here for Grand Rapids.
And the two of them combined for 40 points a game, and they've been the ones who have been able to do the damage most of the time so far today.
Shot and a miss by Weston Miles. Grand Rapids with the rebound. 68-55, Mid in the lead here as that ball is driven in by McIntosh, and Mid's going to pick up another foul.
Yeah, they're going to get Spencer Johnson for the reach in there as McIntosh was attacking the rim. You're really starting to see Grand Rapids is pushing that pace, trying to turn defense into offense as quick as they can.
The lead is 13 points with McIntosh at the line. His first is up and good. 5 minutes, 46 seconds showing on the clock. Second shot up for McIntosh. It's also good. 68-57. Lead now down to 11. Lakers in the lead and the basketball. Spencer Johnston dribbling down, hands it off to Miles. Johnston now across the key, looks for Colin Antis. Antis puts that three-pointer up, and it rattles in and out. Fans not happy with the possession call, but Mid struggling a little bit there offensively to get the make. That would have been a big bucket.
Yep, that was one that needed to go down, and it was halfway down and came out. Again, you saw Grand Rapids attacking the rim, wasn't able to finish, but was able to get an offensive rebound, and then Mid gets a foul.
Well, Spencer Johnston not agreeing with that call as soon as it was made, and then after the referees reported in, Coach Caleb House really not happy, but nonetheless, with the clock stopped at 5:20,
Diego
Robinson's going to go to the line. The referee's going to step in once again. Figure out if this is a 1-and-1 or a 2-shot foul.
It's 1-and-1. You have 9 fouls on both teams, so the next foul on either team is going to be a double bonus.
Robinson at the line for the Raiders. Raiders coming in here with a record of 20-8, 15-11 for Mid-Michigan Community College. And
as we get down to about 5 minutes, it's going to be time to finish.
nice pass there on the look away by Colton Antis. That was a great look there and a great make.
Way to find Colin Carter streaking to the hoop. Big basket that was needed as McIntosh comes back and hits a 3 to answer.
McIntosh's three-point play makes it a 10-point game with 4:45 remaining. Looks like this one's going to come down to the wire as a three-point shot is up and gets the friendly forward roll and goes down for Antis.
Interestingly enough, most of Antis' threes don't go in like that. They're straight in. McIntosh is feeling it as well as he comes back and hits another one. He has single-handedly kept them in the game tonight.
Weston Miles right in his shorts, Brent, and it didn't matter. He went up and put that over top of him and just buried the three. 73-63, Mid with the basketball, driving in. Weston Miles with it. Hands it off to Spence DeMol. Over in the corner is Antis. The three-point shot is up. It's a miss, but down with the basketball is Weston Miles, and he puts it back up and in for an important two-pointer.
And that was a fortuitous bounce as the ball just happened to come right to Weston Miles. McIntosh tries to answer right away. We're going to get Colin Carter.
Colin Carter's going to pick up the foul.
Foul on number 11, Colin Carter.
He gets called for the blocking foul, and then we've got
team foul.
Referee asking the Mid-Michigan Community College bench to calm down a little bit.
At the line for Grand Rapids.
Caleb House having a confab there with
Anthony
the official in front of the
Shooting
Mid-Michigan
two.
Community College bench.
Well, you know, it's an interesting officiating night when neither team is real happy with the officiating so far. Both of them probably have some valid concerns. It's been interesting. The second half, Grand Rapids has been able to be more aggressive, get to the line. McIntosh knocks down the first free throw.
McIntosh with that free throw gets his second at 75-64, 3:53 to play. Second shot rolls around. We're going to get a foul called on the play. This time going to go against Gregory Robinson.
Grand Rapids foul on number 34, Diego Robinson.
So we're going to take the long walk to the other end of the court.
Yep. Colin Carter will be shooting two. We're in double bonus, both teams, both sides now. So every foul will result in
number 11, Colin
2 free
Carter,
throws.
Shooting two.
Carter at the line is a chance to extend this lead. And he misses the first. Want to recognize Coach House's staff. Taylor Artis, the assistant coach over there. Also with assistants Joel Dyer and Brian Shunk. Coach Shunk spent some high school years on the sidelines, as we recall, from Coleman.
Correct.
Second one is up and in, 76-64, 3:50 to play, and coast to coast with the basketball goes McIntosh. Mid comes away with it, and look for him to take some time off the clock.
Yeah, I think they're going to spread it, spread the offense a little bit, take some time off the clock, look for a nice shot, right around probably 10 seconds.
Dribbling the ball in and kicking it back out to Johnston. Johnston on top, gives it to Colton Antis. He's out in his territory, almost near half court. He takes the running leaner and knocks it down for two.
The running one-footer fading away was able to knock it down. That gives him 24 points for the night.
Colton reminiscent of Larry Bird with that shot. That was one of Larry Bird's specialties there. And we're going to get a foul called on the play, and it's going to go against Johnson. I think that's his fourth.
His fourth.
That is his fourth, so he's in foul trouble as well. He needs to be careful that he doesn't pick up his fifth foul. That one,
Number 1, Anthony
McIntosh was being aggressive, getting in the
Shooting
lane. Spencer just wasn't able to quite square up on him quick enough.
Both teams in the double bonus here. We're late in this one, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to go as McIntosh misses the first one. 78-64, Mid in the lead. And the lead remains at 14 with that second miss. Big misses there by McIntosh.
Free throw shooting is going to be really important coming down the stretch here. Interestingly enough, depending on how the seeding comes out in the tournament, these two teams could face off and play each other again next week.
It is NCAA, NJCAA, and other tournaments. It is that time of year. It's March Madness as Spencer Johnston gets the long weak side rebound.
Colton Antis thought about shooting that one from the parking lot. Was able to drive in, hop on the loose ball, wisely calls a timeout to set things back up.
Mid will retain the possession after that timeout taken.
30-second timeout.
I'm not sure where we're at on timeouts, but right now, Grand Rapids could use a few, perhaps. If Mid is able to maintain here, it's a 14-point lead with 2.5 left.
Yeah, what Grand Rapids is really going to look to do is push the ball up fast, look for easy baskets, look for them to keep driving to the hole. Davidson has actually been quiet the second half. I think that defensive rhythm, picking up those fouls and playing less aggressively has also impacted him on the offensive end. Luckily for Grand Rapids, McIntosh has picked it up and more than served in his place. But Grand Rapids is going to look to get stops, push the ball fast, either get to the hole or get to the free throw line. Mid, on the other hand, is going to look to spread the court, take some time off, look for quality shots, force Grand Rapids to start fouling, and they need to make their free throws.
Well, for these sophomores who are on the court, this is the last regular season contest for them, for many of them, potentially in their basketball career. Mid with the basketball. They've got the 14-point lead with 2:25 left on the clock. Looking to burn some time off. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball kicked out, and the miss on the three-pointer by DeMaul. Ball being scrambled for. Grand Rapids has it, and here they come. Looking to score quickly is Grand Rapids. Moving ball around the perimeter and stripped of the basketball by Spencer Johnston. Johnston in lockdown in that corner as he stripped the ball from Davison. And here comes Mid with the basketball. And Brent, things look pretty good right now for the Lakers.
Yeah, Davison was able to get in the corner. I don't think he was quite expecting a trap from Antis and Johnson. And as that happened, Johnson was able to steal from him. Again, Spence DeMaul with a wide open layup at the other end.
Spence DeMaul, just the defenders just split like the Red Sea for him there, and he moved in for the layup.
Yep.
Grand Rapids with the ball now, trying desperately to score quickly as the ball is up and in for Davison.
Curtis Davison.
But it's a 14-point lead with just 1:20 to play here in this one. The Lakers have this one in hand at this point. You may want to begin fouling and try to send them to the line if the coach thinks there's time. And we've got a ball that's going to be loose, and see what happens here. Going in for the dunk. And the miss was Ewing Jr. and Spencer Johnston is going to finish his basketball career in the regular season on the bench as he fouls out, picking up his fifth.
His fifth.
Or excuse me, that's only his fifth, so he'll
At the
remain
line,
out there.
shooting 2 for Grand Rapids, number 11, Deron Ewing Jr.
As Ewing Jr. steps to the line. And the first one is up and in.
Returning for the Lakers, number 3, Nate Colon, along with number 12, Grant Gay.
So Colin Carter, the 6-foot sophomore, or excuse me, 6'7" freshman from Richmond, Indiana, takes a seat, and there's Spencer Johnston getting a nice round of applause from the fans. Spencer Johnston giving it his all out there, the 5'10" sophomore guard from Beaverton. As Darren Ewing Jr. knocks down the second one. 1 minute left to play, 80-68. Mid has this one in hand. As they look to just run the clock down here. Clock shot down to 15. And loose ball goes outside and passed up.
And this is where Mid wants the ball in Colton Ann's hands, either to hit an open three or to get to the line. Wasn't able to connect that time. Grand Rapids is going to come back and try to score quick.
Foul going to be called on the play that time. Fans thinking that Spence DeMall had a strip of the ball there, but he's going to be called for the foul with just 32 seconds left.
Yeah, Scott, I think they're actually going to get Wesson Miles on the reach on that. Spence DeMall's steal attempt did look clean. I think they got Miles coming from the side a little bit.
That'll send McIntosh back to the line for the Raiders. The first one's up and rolls around the rim and out.
And you know, Scott, as this is a 12-point lead with 30 seconds left, you know, Grand Rapids really has had their chances in the second half. They were in the free throw lane a lot. They were able to get to the free throw line. They just haven't been able to convert. And you look at, you know, ordinarily Grand Rapids scoring 91 points a game, being stuck on 68 right now has really been a combination, I think, of Mid playing strong defense and Grand Rapids just not being able to convert a lot tonight.
Well, it's substitution time as the sophomores go out to nice rounds of applause. Nate Colon, I mentioned earlier, the 6-foot sophomore from East Lansing, takes a seat, as does Spence DeMall. Spence, the 6'4" sophomore from Ithaca, along with Colin Antis, the sophomore from Fulton, and Grant Gage, who takes a seat, a sophomore from Crystal, Michigan, takes a seat, a 6'5" sophomore. Clock's winding down, and a three-point shot is up, and no good for Ostrander. And back comes
Number 3, Zach
Pangborn. Pangborn lays it up and in. Clock running down, final seconds ticking off here in the regular season for the Lakers. 3 seconds left on the clock, and there'll be no finishing shot here, and the Lakers win this one, Brent, going away 80-71, defeating Grand Rapids Community College.
That was a great quality win for the Lakers. Colton Antis leading the way with 24 points, followed closely by Weston Miles with 13, Spence DeMall with 12, and Spencer Johnson with 10. You know, we talked before the game, Coach House really talking about balanced scoring and really had a lot of options today for the Lakers.
Well, we are very happy to have had you along for the ride with us, Brent Mischler and myself, Scott Govitz. So we both work at Mid. We're really pleased to have been able to bring this game to you along with MAC TV, channel 187 and 191. Thank you to MAC TV for hosting us this evening. And the Lakers will look to move to the playoffs, and we'll see what happens, who they get lined up with as they head for the NJCAA tournament about to start in the coming days. So thank you all for joining us. And we're going to say from Maury Courts, the Lakers win 80-71. Have a great evening. Good night.
MAC TV Network is a local public access station that offers a variety of services, from in-studio interviews, wrestling, and so much more. We cover local concerts, sporting events, and activities around the community. Members of the community can come in and take a free workshop to learn anything from editing to camera work. Broadcasting on Charter Channels 187 and 191, serving Gratiot, Isabella, and Clare counties.
MAC TV Sports broadcasts local high school and college athletics in the Clare, Isabella, and Gratiot County areas only on Charter Channel 187. From full game broadcasts to sports attack coverage, you can learn all about live sports production at MAC TV. Tune in to Channel 187 for MAC TV's Game of the Week, every night from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Also, check out Sports Attack, airing every day at 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. For more information, go to MacTVNetwork.org.